I'm Robert Emmons. I'm 54 years old, originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Currently live in San Francisco since 1985, and my business is San Francisco Mercantile. I saw a niche in the market for doing a more upscale souvenir, and that's where I started my business of SF Mercantile, a wholesale business that I sell to about 400 stores throughout California. The decision to open up a store came from my wanting to have an outlet to show my retail buyers how my products could be merchandised in with other locally designed, locally created products, local-based companies, in a way that makes them feel so much more special than what you would see at most souvenir stores. So it's our attempt to have products that celebrate San Francisco and California, that locals would love to have, and tourists will enjoy taking home as a souvenir. Wanting to own a store that celebrates San Francisco is the fact that I love it so much. You know, I love San Francisco, I love California. It's where I call home now. I'm heavily saturated in a lot of different markets in San Francisco, a lot of neighborhoods, and I have to be really careful that I don't oversaturate a neighborhood with my product. No retail store wants to have my goods and then have the store next door to them have the same goods and the store next to them. The Haight Street was one location where I didn't have a lot of accounts. I would have a couple accounts occasionally buy something, but they didn't have it in a big way. And it's a neighborhood that has both locals and tourists. What I look for in the art that we carry is an interesting local take on an interpretation of San Francisco. So, you know, when you look at a lot of the typical souvenir stuff that you'll find like along Fisherman's Wharf, that's all made by companies who create a concept and then they do that same concept for every city. And I'm trying to avoid any kind of look that looks like that, that's just kind of a mass-produced look. The artists that I love the most are the ones that have kind of the wackiest outlook on the city. You know, Eric Joyner, who does robots jumping on the Golden Gate Bridge, and donuts, you know, falling on Transamerica Pyramid. It's things that incorporate those icons that we all know and love that say San Francisco or California, but done in a way that's new and whimsical and fun and just, you know, puts a smile on your face. I think the overall look of the store, I want to be very clean, very much like a museum store. When you go into a museum store, I want a wide variety of products from you know, books to candles to Christmas ornaments to t-shirts. And the looks that I want are varied because there are so many different customer tastes. So, you know, the general look of the store should be really clean, and within that we try to create little stories within the store that appeal to a different sense of aesthetic. From our SF Mercantile line, our number one item is our California Bear Hug mug. And that is carried in all kinds of stores from art museums, Muir Woods, it's in parks places, it's at visitor centers, in gift shops. That's our number one item. I think our number two item is probably our what we call the city ornament, our Christmas ornament that has kind of a whimsical design of San Francisco. And again, I think that is something that people who live here love because it's a little different look on the city. And the bear is really more of a California pride thing. I think that we end up selling our bear collection more to locals than we do to tourists. Because it does have a tie back to California history. It's a vintage image that ties back to our California state song, I Love You, California.